You know that game where you call a name and you say exactly what comes to mind? Let's assume the name was Micheal Scott. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Well, I'll tell you mine. Clueless manager, inappropriate jokes, cringe, zero self-awareness, right? But there was something about Micheal Scott that made us never tired of watching him on TV. And I mean, it was also funny, but that wasn't all. Let's talk about all the reasons Micheal Scott wasn't the worst boss. Hi, my name is Susan. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, how's it going? One thing we cannot deny is how Micheal Scott cared for his employees, except Toby, of course. In The Office season 2, episode 11, Boo's Cruise, Michael took the staff on a cruise, right? And this episode was kind of pivotal for Jim. He had just broken up with his girlfriend after he found out that Pam and Roy had set a wedding date. He was heartbroken, and so he confided in Michael. Imagine confiding in Michael. So he confided in Michael about his feelings for Pam, and Michael literally tells him never ever give up, right? And this was heartwarming to see. The next time that Michael proves that he's not the worst boss in the world is when he had to forgive Dwight's betrayal, right? We see that Dwight had big ambitions in the office, right? And so one of those times that he was trying to express his ambitions, he convinces Jan to make him the regional manager. And when Michael discovers this, he nearly fires Dwight, but instead he decides to forgive him because he can see that Dwight's actions come from the fact that he's actually dedicated to the company. And basically he punishes him by asking him to wear a liar sign, I think, on his chest, and promising that he would do Michael's laundry for the next year, which, when you think about it, is kind of abusive, right? But I guess it's better than getting fired. The next time we see Mike be a good boss or not the worst boss is when Pam had an art show, and I think she invited everyone, but even Roy could not make it. Roy, that she was dating at the time, could not make it. He was not interested in her art. Pam actually was, just looking at her painting and kind of sad, and was just wondering why people didn't show up. And then Michael arrives, and he's literally sincerely admiring her work, and he decides to buy a painting. Now, I don't know if I kind of feel like he was quite genuine and he really liked this painting, which I was quite confused about because I was looking at the painting and wondering like what's going on here. But he liked the painting, and he decided to buy a painting of their office and hang it at Dunder Mifflin. And it was kind of, it was so, I guess, touching for Pam. And I think this is probably why Pam overlooked every single thing that Mike did and still had the most respect for Michael because of this act, this touching act of supporting her when nobody else did. I think there are quite a number of other things that Michael did, but one thing that we also see here is the fact that Michael genuinely wanted to be liked. Like, it's obvious that Michael was a people pleaser, we all know that, but I think that he really wanted to connect with the people in the office. He wanted to connect with them beyond just the work that he did. Of course, a lot of his attempts to do this were misguided and it was too much. It was cringe a lot of times. If The Office were to happen in 2024, his ass would have been fired a long time ago. Okay, but I think that everything that he was doing came from a place of genuinely wanting to connect to the people of Dunder Mifflin, genuinely wanting to make the office a more fun place to be, even though shit needed to be done, and that wouldn't necessarily work in today's day and age. But I think that he wanted there to be a connection with the people in the office beyond just the work that they did. And I think it's kind of healthy if you think about it. But there was also a lot of chaos. And I mean, you would think that someone that is focused on creating more relationships would not yield outputs, right? But there was still a lot of good outputs coming from the office, which means even if he wasn't directly doing something right, maybe he hired people that were doing something right, or he kept people that were doing something right, because Dunder Mifflin was still the best branch out of all the other branches in terms of their sales. So they were obviously doing something right, which indirectly meant that Michael was doing something right, which I honestly can't even accept that as I'm saying that. But yeah, that's my thoughts about Micheal Scott. Let me know what you guys think about this guy as the boss in the office. What your thoughts are. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.